The events of the past week will be tragically seared into our memories, as we all witnessed an unruly mob storm the Capitol and pause the certification of the 2020 election. But undeterred and duty bound, the Vice President, the Senate Majority Leader, and so many members of Congress returned to work and completed the process of certifying the results. This past year has been a challenging time for our country. This is not the first time we have seen mob violence plague our cities, destroy property, and cause harm or even death to our fellow citizens. Every single one of these instances, including last week's, is unacceptable. It's tragic and should be condemned in the strongest possible terms by leaders of any sort. For those of us who work in and around Washington, D.C., the events of January 6th brought back memories of September the 11th, but this time the tragedy was brought upon us by our fellow citizens with the encouragement of the President of the United States. Now, I know there are many members of FinSecca and of the broader profession who, like many in this country, are strong supporters of the President, his policies, and who believe there were significant irregularities in the last election. From my view, dozens and dozens of court cases across multiple states with judges appointed by Republicans and Democrats, some by President Trump himself, have found zero evidence of widespread frauds sufficient to change the outcome of any state, a conclusion also reached by the president's own attorney general. But regardless of whether you agree with my conclusion or not, we must now try to move forward as a country. We will have a new president and a new administration on January 20th, and Democrats have a majority in the House, and in light of the Georgia special elections, a majority now in the Senate. There's no doubt in my mind that our profession has significant opportunities ahead of us in 2021, but we must also be clear-headed in that unified control of Washington by a single party has real potential to bring with it significant tax and regulatory challenges. I believe this new administration will be sensitive to the continued economic fragility initially, but tax increases will inevitably be considered. Our job in promoting how life insurance is taxed appropriately and how it's essential for the financial security of millions of people will be more important than ever before. We also have real work to do on the regulatory front, as it will now be easier for the new administration to get more progressive nominees confirmed. And while I strongly condemn the events of the past week and the behaviors of so many leaders who've exacerbated the divisions between us, FinSecca is resolved to do the important work of elevating the profession, of accelerating your business outcomes, and to advocate for your ability to serve your clients. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that regardless of the challenges we face as a country or how we feel right now, that the sun will rise tomorrow and that our nation will continue our never-ending march towards a more perfect union.